The big conversation where the real ones talk. From the heart of the nation, we all take that walk through the fire.
Hey, it is so good to have you here, beautiful people. Welcome to another powerful edition of The Big Conversation on Dominion Television. I am your host, Ronke Giwa Onofuwa. And as always, we're here to unpack the topics that matter. Those conversations that help us think, grow, and evolve. Count us in. Now, as we count down to the end of the season, we have another interesting conversation. One that is sure to help us wrap up 2025 the right way. Today's episode is titled, The Cost of New Beginnings, what we need to let go of before 2026. Now, as the year winds down, many of us are thinking about new goals, new habits, new dreams. But the truth is, you cannot walk into a new season carrying old baggage, right? So come closer, sit tight, because there'll be so much to learn today. But first, let's take a look at the headlines making waves across Nigeria.
The big conversation. It's the big conversation.
All right, I'm joined by the fantastic ladies at the table today. All right, Mrs. Kush giving us shoulders.
I know.
I love it.
Good
You look
morning.
wonderful.
I'm extra excited this
I
morning.
know.
Because, I mean, woke up to good news.
Yes,
Good
yes.
news.
This time last week, a friend of ours,
Yeah.
Ibukun Oteshile, was kidnapped right in front of her house. And, you know, all week, I've just not been myself. I remember this morning, you shared the news with me.
Yes.
This morning, I was still like, Ibukun Oteshile, you will be released.
I'm so happy.
You will return.
Yeah, so relieved. I mean, when we hear these things and it now comes so close to home,
Yes.
I mean, it hits differently. But I'm just so grateful to God and happy for her family, her aged parents. I mean,
Yes.
thank God.
Thank God. Thank
Yeah.
God for Ibukun Oteshile. And of course, we're hoping that anybody else that's been kidnapped
Of
as well,
course,
we're holding as a point of contact that really
Yeah.
everybody else will return home
all
safely.
week I have been, my mood has been something else. Everybody asks, what's wrong with you? What's wrong? But I can't really express it because it's not something you want to just keep on talking about. You just want to pray about it and pray that everything goes.
Yes.
And
Like
we thank
it hits different when it's somebody you actually know.
He actually does.
You know,
He
and
does.
that's why empathy is so important. You know, when we hear this, because there's somebody who's feeling that, and we are even just friends. Imagine her children, her
Little
husband,
children.
or her parents. Exactly. So.
I'm just happy.
Yeah, I'm really happy. I'm really happy, and I hope we have more stories like this. We don't know the details of
Yes,
you know,
exactly.
the release, but we're just glad, you know, that she's home. All right, Titi, let's look at your headline.
Yes, my headlines, of course, still on, you know, security, some of the measures that the presidency has been taking. So I'm going to be taking my headline from the Independent newspaper, and it says, no going back on withdrawal of police from VIPs. That's the president saying that. So at the FEC meeting yesterday, speaking at the opening of the Federal Executive Council meeting in the State House Council chamber, the president warned against non-compliance. So following the protests from lawmakers regarding abrupt withdrawal of their security aids, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu directed the Minister of Interior to deploy officers of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps to replace the withdrawn police officers who hitherto provided security for the VIPs. So at the meeting yesterday, some of the the officers were complaining that now their security aids have been withdrawn.
More like subject to whining.
Exactly,
Like
whining,
yeah.
that, you know, their security aids have been withdrawn following the earlier directive by the president. And the president is now saying that, no, we're not going back on that because, of course, we need more hands. So now they are scared of being unguarded while normal Nigerians are moving freely every day. I mean, we just talked about Ibukun. She was just going about her, you know, business, and then that happened to her. So these people are scared. They also know that the security situation is dire. So now they're saying that, you know, they want their aid, but the president is saying that there's no going back on that. So instead, they're now deploying NSCDC officials. You know, that's still saying, well, we still have your back, but with the actual police force, we're saying that they should be deployed to
vulnerable people.
Yes, the vulnerable
Exactly.
people. I mean, and he's saying that compliance must be. The officials must comply to this directive. But then I'm just looking at the real, situation of things right now. I mean, people are now getting scared, especially VIPs. Let's just call them who they are.
Are now feeling what the average Nigerian
exactly. Are now
feels.
feeling it and saying that, oh, we can't. On a normal day, even when security wasn't this heightened, you see people come to events. I've seen I know you probably have seen it where a policeman was holding someone's bag. You know, this was just a random person. Nobody wants to abduct you. How about now that, you know, the situation is now, you know, serious? I think it's good that everybody should be feeling the heat so that action will be taken
absolutely,
especially in this festive season, you know, where people are more vulnerable, people travel more and all of that. So I think that.
However, isn't this a case of double standards? Because it wasn't just yesterday or the day before yesterday that Wole
Soyinka
was
that brings me to my own headline.
Yeah.
Because in the Punch, you know, it was highlighted in the Punch that Soyinka is decries Seyi Tinubu's excessive security escort, and that's like, you know, you're speaking from one mouth, and then your son is doing another thing. Because you know the one thing about Wole Soyinka is that I just love, you know, his satire and how he
was very sarcastic. Oh, I saw the video. Very sarcastic.
So I don't even need to read the news because it was just very clear that he wasn't exactly pleased with the fact that Seyi Tinubu has, you know, the way he described
Entourage. You thought they were shooting a movie.
He said that the president doesn't need to send armed forces
you should just call Seyi's
Entourage
to come and sort it out. So you didn't need to send anybody to Benin Republic. That they should have just sent Seyi and his entourage. That he wasn't even sure what was going on. When they shooting a movie, he wasn't sure until later that they now told him, oh, actually, that's the
first son. The
first son is, you know.
But it's ridiculous, and they should be ashamed of themselves, to be honest. This is not something that he's supposed to be supportive of his father's administration. And if your father has said that, you know, all, you know, police escorts should, you know, be removed from VIPs,
you should also stand by your father as the first son that you are.
Absolutely.
And he said this, Wole Soyinka mentioned this on the 20th Wole Soyinka Center for Investigative Journalism Awards in Lagos on Tuesday. And funny enough, I saw him at this same hotel I was telling you about, you know, here in Jericho, you know, chaperoned by his friend, you know. And I was struck because I haven't seen him.
Did he have any police?
No, he did not have any police. And do you know the funniest thing? The young lady who I went to see, her auntie, does not know Soyinka. So by the time she saw her, she saw him at inside the elevator. The man was reading balance. You know what is on the shirt of the lady? Hey, you have balance. I know what it is. The lady was like, I don't know this guy. So what is
She
it?
didn't know Wole Soyinka.
She did not know Wole Soyinka.
Who is she? Does she live?
She's a young lady, first level Unilag.
Yeah? And she does not know Wole Soyinka.
First level. So, you know,
sorry,
so that was even the reason why.
That was the reason. Sorry, that's a shame.
No, but that is the reason why he was now being affiliated. So I now asked Soyinka that I wanted a picture. He didn't oblige me.
He did that to me as well.
Do you know
I saw him at Legacy Hotel in Abeokuta.
Yes.
I think it was 2019. And I was like so starstruck.
Yes.
And he just sat down there, no airs, nothing. And I was like, he said, no, he doesn't take. Oh, I almost cried. Because I wanted to give everybody the evidence.
I think he knows that's what we want to do because we know him. But these young people don't know him. So he's more, you know, liking to just
can't
and
get
chat
past
with them.
people who don't know. My 7-year-old knows and loves Wole Soyinka.
So that's the challenge we're having with the new
But anyway,
Gen
that's
Z.
not the headline.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, not the Gen Z.
Even he, at his level, does not feel the need to be so guarded.
Yes, exactly.
You know, so I think that for those who identify as VIPs, is also a call to action for them. At this point, Nigeria does not have that luxury.
Absolutely. And the order is the order. I think that they should be very thorough and be very, yes, they should keep whining, but that's the average Nigerian's reality. We don't have escorts, we don't have VIPs. We've just talked about somebody, she's the JCI president, isn't she? Who was kidnapped last week, and it's been a week of being... Exactly, so they need to stop whining.
A very active youth who has contributed very positively to our society.
Over the
so
level from one level to the other.
They need to stop whining and get with the program. And so that because a true leader wants to know what your people are going through. So you guys, you don't even want to know what your people are dealing with. I don't understand. What kind of leadership is that? You can't empathize with the people if you don't know. Now you know. You are scared. Wow, it's such a pity. However, that's all we can take from the news today. And as usual, we'll keep our ears out for any development on these stories. Now we'll take a break, and when we return, we'll be joined by our guest, Olamiji Temiyemi. Don't go.